Welcome, welcome everybody. My name is Wendy Fore from Cash Life Mastery, and tonight you guys are joining us on breaking barriers in business, and we are going to be talking about the 4 easy tips to overcome business barriers to success. We want to find out what's holding you back. So joining me tonight, guys, is my co-host, Baxter. He is been a teammate of mine for about a year now. He works with me in my network marketing company. And let's see, hold on a minute. We've got some background noise going on here. We've worked together for about a year now, and he is definitely a leader in this industry. So I'm very happy to introduce you guys. And he is going to be my co-host now on the Breaking Barriers in Business in the evenings when we talk about marketing and business building topics. So like I said, guys, tonight is the 4 easy tips to overcoming business barriers to success. And we're going to be talking about holding you back. But for just a moment, Baxter, introduce yourself and say hello to everyone. And I want to remind people that we are watching the chat. So if you have a question, please pop it up and we will answer it while we're talking.
Well, absolutely, and thank you for such a good introduction there. Yes, we've been together for about a year now. It's actually working in our network company, and quite a bit going on with us of learning and growing, and a lot of effort out there. And so this is one of the good things about what we have here. Breaking barriers is something we do every single day. Sometimes they're little bitty ones, but it's still a barrier. And that's what we're all about here this evening, to help us get through that. And I believe, as Miss Wendy said, we have about 4 of them to cover. So anytime you get ready, we can take off and go. And
yeah, we do have a lot to cover tonight. We actually put a really good talk together this week, guys. So the first thing that business owners need to realize is that when you're not being successful, it's time to take a step back. Look at what you're doing and see, you know, there's so many causes of, you know, not being successful. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's your time, you know, because some of us are working full time and trying to put it in the afternoons or evenings or whatever. And, you know, some of those things are just not in your control, you know. So, but what you do need to look at is what you can control. So today we're going to be talking about some of the things that you can control. And our first topic is how to use positive affirmations for success and money. And the first thing we want to talk about is calming and controlling your self-critic, because this is where I find so many marketers are, I don't know if I'd call it making a mistake, but they're being hard on themselves is basically the only way to really say it. And it basically starts with your self-talk. You know, how do you talk to your inner child, you know, your inner person? No matter what you do for a living, we all have things that are going to hold us back in business. But the first main step is identifying what that thing is. You know, for some people, it might be procrastination. You know, for some people, it might be even more severe, like alcohol. It might be hanging around the wrong friends, or maybe you have poor eating habits, which are causing you to not be healthy. So, you know, whatever your personal issue, you have to find that one thing, and you got to fix it. That's just what it boils down to. Because when you're using that negative self-talk, all it's doing is just, you know, driving you further and further down. Wouldn't you agree, Baxter?
Oh yeah, self-talk is really a part of it, and it's kind of got a little back echo going on, I think, don't we? Anyway, it's self-talk or your self-critic is what, you know, kind of beats ourselves up because you, like you said, it's your pattern of what you've done. It's a natural thing, like you said. I don't think it's a mistake. It's just something that we are many times taught because of the way we've grown up. You know, I mean, probably 80% of the people you're around are of negative people, you know. And so whenever you start, and particularly in this field, I found that starting out, I always think, because I'm by myself a lot, you know, except for like whenever you and I talk like this or get people online, there's nobody right in front of me every day going, okay, get up and let's get going. So you have to talk to yourself, but then your self-critic is always the first one that jumps out there, and he goes, no, you're not good enough for this. What do you think you're doing? And who's going to read what you write and whatever it might be that you're trying to do. And your self-critic can get you in a depressed state in a hurry. And so you certainly have to watch out for him because, or her. I
Yeah.
listened to her the other day. She called it or her Hilda. And that's what she does. She's a psychologist. And she says, and Hilda will beat your butt if you let her because it does. It gets in our way. And it's a constant battle. It never goes away. Now we all have different degrees because every time you step out of your comfort zone, she's right there going, "What are you doing? You're moving up away from this." And so
You are.
yeah, exactly. And
did you get a little too big for your britches today?
and your self-critic will stop you a lot of times now. And I kind of was on a webinar the other night with my coach, and and I thought that was the number one thing to stop people. And actually, he says that another coach of his says it's distractions, but this would have to be number two because it's right there. I mean, when you're in a room by yourself, like I am here and you are there, and you don't have that backup support, and so that's open opportunity. And
Exactly. But I honestly think it's number one because let's think about this. If you're giving yourself negative self-talk and you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or I'll do it later, it doesn't really matter, that kind of thing, you're not even going to get to step two where you're distracted.
yes, that's
So
true.
I feel like this is like the number one thing that people need to get under control. So like I said, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to determine what is that negative thing in your life. I have just recently decided that I'm going to take control of some of my issues, which is health. I have some health, and of course I've got a terrible cold right now, and that's not really what I'm talking about, but I have some health issues, and I know that I need to get that under control. So I am putting together eating better, healthy living. I've joined a gym. Not enjoying that part just yet. It's something that I had to identify for me, and that's my thing. So each person has to identify what that thing is. It might be, like I said, going and hanging out with your friends too much. Yeah, your friends are important, but are you really trying to make this business work? If so, then that's got to come first, and maybe you need to limit some of that time with the friends, especially if they're the wrong friends and they're giving you, they're not giving you the support you need. Like you said, Baxter, when you're home and working by yourself, it's even harder. And I have that during the day, and by the time my husband gets home, it's family time, So when I'm working in my business, I have to really be hard on myself. I have to be my own worst boss and make myself do stuff.
Yeah. But your self-critic is right there ready for you, though. It's saying, okay, you're tired. Go lay down, or just take this easy street over here right now. Come back and do the hard stuff later, when you really need to do the hard stuff first.
Exactly.
So it leads you into procrastination. So your self-talk, and you got to learn to be thankful. That you are, and that's one of the affirmations I'm assuming that we're getting into in just a minute. Is that when you talk to yourself, an affirmation is, that I'm thankful and grateful that I have this opportunity to do such and such, whatever it may be. And that's the beginning point. If you're not even thankful for the opportunity, or
Exactly.
I don't want to make that really sound harsh, but I mean, because you can't overcome it. But at that point, that wherever you are, you're already lost right there. If you're not thankful, and I work with people during a daytime job. I'm one of those daytime jobs, like you just said, and and people do not have a thankfulness for that job, even though when they come
I call it attitude of gratitude. You need an attitude
when they come to you, they're going, okay, I really need a job, and so you give them a job, and then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, I just had to come to work today, I mean, so they're not thankful at all, so. And it affects the people that they're around. So your environment is your next thing that really works on your heart. So
Right. So one of the ways that I want to talk about kind of getting into positive affirmations, once you do determine what that thing is, and like I said, for me, it was, healthy eating and, some of the exercise and stuff I need to do. One thing that will help you develop those positive affirmations is to tell yourself, okay, you get up first thing in the morning, I'm going to eat great today. Lunchtime, I'm going to eat great today. Evening, I'm going to eat great today. Just keep telling yourself that you're going to do whatever it is that you need to change. You have to just make that decision to change. Let go of that negative thing that is affecting you. Just really, double down and say, I'm going to do this. This is going to happen. And once you do, start having a vision of what your life is going to look like once you make those changes. So when you're doing your positive affirmations, like for me, one thing that I've done, and you can kind of apply this as it applies to your issue. I took a picture of myself back when, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, when I was very, very thin, and I've placed it somewhere where I can see it on a regular basis. So that way when I'm thinking or I want to slide back, I have that little reminder, but it's also kind of my vision to be that person again, to be that healthy person, be that thin person again. And that's what will help you along your journey, is to have those positive thoughts and, maybe even something visual to help you remind yourself that you're on that positive journey. Another really, really good way to stay motivated is having a big why. Why am I doing this? Why am I in business? Money should never be the motivator. Of course, we all want to make money. We don't ever start a business not to make money, but that shouldn't be your motivator to run your business.
Money is
money is not truly an inner motivator, and that's what we're trying to get you guys to find, is the big why. Like, do I want to start this business because I want to leave it to my kids so they can have something in the future? Or do I want to start this business because I want to help millions of people all over the world? Or like if you were starting a nonprofit, you want to feed kids that are homeless, start wells, or just whatever it is, that make it a big, big why. But on the flip side of that, you also need to enjoy your small wins. Even if it's just something like somebody messages you on social media and says, thank you, I needed to hear what you had to say today, or I really enjoyed your post today. Take that in and enjoy it. Give yourself that that pat on the back. Everybody needs it, even if you have to give it to yourself. But if somebody shows you a little bit of appreciation, let that motivate you to do more, to be bigger and better, and put more things out there for people, so they can win too, because it's all about helping others. And that's the other thing. In Baxter, you can probably relate to this, because I know you're this type of person. Do a good deed daily. Even if it's just something small, answering somebody's question, loaning them a tool, stopping on the side of the road to help somebody fix a tire, making a phone call if somebody's sick and saying, hey, how are you doing? Do you need me to bring you a Mountain Dew? A pack of crackers or a can of soup, Even if it's just something small. And Baxter, I know, like I said, I know you're that kind of guy, because we talk about all the time in your job how you're always having to help cover for people and do the small things, and that really make a difference to your company. And it doesn't have to necessarily always be a person. Maybe it's for your regular job. But it's the feelings. You get that good endorphins going when you do something nice for somebody that they can't give you anything back for it. It's not like you're going to get a raise for all that helping that you do over there at that job, is it, Baxter?
No, but it does help out. If I can interrupt you a second there, it does. You know, when you do good to other people, it comes back to you. You know, I mean, I had a contractor. I work in hardware, for those of you who don't know, and deliver lumber and so forth for houses. And one of the contractors, and he's like 73 years old, was getting up in the back of his truck and he fell off on the cement pad. And he bruised himself up really good. And so I called him every morning and asked him how he was, you know, and that makes a big difference, as little as that is, you know, because I wasn't calling him up to say, okay, well, sounds feeling good, send me some money, let's get going again. I just called and say, you know, how's your shoulder today? And I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. And it wouldn't be long, it'd be later, and he'd call back, you know, we'd get something else going, because that's, you know, that's what we do. We do in those ways. It really costs you nothing to give out a compliment or a yes sir or no ma'am, you know, and to make other people feel good, you know, for what you get in return. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so now
you cannot. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, go ahead, Baxter.
You can't go through working and having a business where you deal with people and not do good to them. I mean, you're not in your business last. You just simply cannot do that. People will not tolerate it, for one, very long. I mean, they might do business with you just for the sake of business, but once you shut the doors of the business, where are you at? You know what I'm saying? You know, you're gone, you know. So, and if I can back up one page back up, the other, you said that you get up in the mornings and you say that, you know, I'm going to do this today and it's going to be a really good day. If you will start that, not only you, but others, start at the night when you lay down. So I'm going to wake up in the morning feeling good. It's going to be a great day. And so when you wake up, that's the last thought in your mind. It also becomes the first thought in your mind.
Exactly. And I suggest, like I said, people do it throughout the day. They get up in the morning, afternoon, evening, before you go to bed, all through the day. You know, just keep giving yourself those positive affirmations.
Yes.
And that, you know, they say it takes 30 days to make a change. So, you know, if you can give yourself 30 days worth of positive affirmations and try to remove negativity, then, you know, things will definitely be different at the end of that 30 days.
Right.
Okay, so here now we're going to talk about tip number 2, how to get more business focus. Okay. The biggest thing for business focus, as we just kind of alluded to a minute ago, is removing distractions. And one thing that I found that a lot of people have done is they get into the mode of multitasking. They've got, like, you know, 5 or 6 things open on their desktop. They're working on this project a little bit while they're waiting for something else to download, or they're doing, you know, they're just like doing 5 or 6 things at one time. And while a lot of people think, oh, I'm getting so much done, you know, studies have shown that actually you don't. Because what you're doing is you're asking your brain to switch from thinking about one project to thinking about another project, and it takes you time to refocus and your brain to switch from task to task. And so what happens is you actually spend more time and get less done. So with that said, some of the suggestions that I have made, and we talked about this on our last show, is using timers, working for 25 minutes and then taking a standing break, because like I said, I'm kind of getting into this health stuff, guys, so I'm going to start pushing some of this little health stuff so we can be healthy business people, because our health really does matter. So if you're working for 25 minutes of sitting, it's heart healthy to get up for at least 5 or 10 and move around and then come back to your desk. That's what the heart healthy stuff is nowadays, is sit for 25, stand for 5 or 10. So what I have done, instead of multitasking between projects, I do my 25 minutes out, open up, just say we were working on our show for next week. I might work on that show for 25 minutes, you know, coming up with topics or whatever I'm doing, and then stand for 5. Well, instead of standing, I want to be a little physical, you know, because I want to get, you know, some calories burning and that kind of thing. So I might go put dishes in the dishwasher, or a load of laundry in the laundry, or, you know, just clean up something for 5 or 10 minutes and then come back to my desk. But instead of starting a new project or looking at 2 or 3 different things, I'm not going to stop working on that one thing until I finish. So I am multitasking between standing and moving and sitting. So that is part of the multitasking. But I'm not asking my brain to lose focus on on what I was thinking about. Excuse me.
That's all right. Let me interrupt here while you're doing that, because I know your voice is wearing out. Some statistics to go with that you're talking about there, the multitasking. And your multitasking is really, like you said, it's like you're trying to write an email and eat at the same time. You know, you're trying to you're trying to do those 2 things, or you're working on Facebook and you're talking to somebody. That's multitasking back and forth. You've got 4 or 5 panes open, and you're doing accounting and this, that, and the other, and you get nothing done. You get less done, and this is what it is now. They've really proven that when you multitask like that, your brain produces a hormone called, I believe it is cortisol. Okay, and that cortisol actually can cause cancer in your body. It is the starting seed for belly fat, and so basically it kills you. And it makes you, the test is that when you multitask, it lowers your IQ by 10%. Smoking marijuana only lowers it by 5%. So
okay, so in other words, you're saying that we can smoke pot instead of multitasking.
Well, you'd be still smarter. According to that study, you know, according to that study, that's what it said. I mean, I think you shouldn't do either one, but based on what it said, because you really, I mean, even your computer, you know, when you look at your computer and it tells you it's got a dual processor. Well, it's doing the same thing that we're talking about with your brain. It's not doing what it can only do one thing at a time. It's just going really fast back and forth. And that's what we're trying to ask our brain to do, is go back and forth really fast. And it produces, like, I'm confusion, quit. Focus on one thing, and you will have a whole lot healthier body, and you get a whole lot more done. You know, and if you stay at that timer issue, like you're saying, you know, the 90 minutes solid like that, or, you know, just take that little short break in between, get right back on the same thing, you'll find it's unbelievable how much you can get done. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. For the last 30 days, I have been applying this. You know, just opening up one project, shutting everything else down, you know, and just focusing on those 25 minutes with a 5-minute break, another 25 minutes, another 5-minute break throughout my whole working day. And to be honest with you, but you know, because like I said, I'm doing housework on my 5-minute breaks. I am getting so much done because I'm able to finish a task on the computer and get something done in the house. Finish a task on the computer, get something done on the house. And because I know I've set myself 25 minutes, I actually focus more and I work faster because I really want to get it done before the timer goes off.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, there's also that speed factor too with the timer. So it really does work, guys. I really challenge you guys to try that out. And another thing that we're going to suggest is set up a closed area to work. If you have a room in your house, you know, if it has to be in your garage, down in your basement, in a closet, whatever it takes, you know, just find somewhere that you can have some personal space set up for you with your desk and your things that you need to work, and make sure that when you're working, your family and your friends know that, hey, do not disturb. If you have to put a do not disturb sign on your door, you know, make sure that they know this is my work time. This is what I'm going to devote to work. When I come out, then I will spend time with you. But, you know, give yourself that block of time, even if it's only an hour a night. You'll find if you can do it without distraction and you can have a closed space where you can really focus, it'll go much better for you and you'll get so much more done.
Yeah, when you go in to do that 1 hour, know what you're going to do.
Yes.
In other words, you don't go in there and sit down and go, okay, well, now what am I going to do? No, know what you're going to do when you go in there and you sit down. That way you can start and utilize that hour. You know?
Exactly. And the other thing is organizing your workspace. You know, make sure you start off right. Just have everything that you need within reach and within a certain place, and make sure that you keep it there. Nothing drives me more crazy than, say for instance, I'm looking for my scissors, which you can see in the background, or in my carousel on my bookshelf. Somebody moves those suckers. It's like, how much time do I got to spend looking for them? Keep things in the same place, keep yourself organized, and you'll move a lot faster. When you need your scissors, use your scissors, put them back. Don't leave them laying around your whole house and that kind of thing. Get organized. And then also find some organizational tools. Like we just talked about the timer, and for you guys who want to know, it's called the tomato timer. I believe you can look it up at tomatotimer.com. It's absolutely free. And then there's another one called Beeminder for projects, where you set up your goals, and it helps keep you on track. There's a free version of that, but there's also a paid version of that. But I kind of like just my regular old monthly calendar, that I set my goals up each day, and I know what I'm going to work on, for a set time each day. But there's just many ways to do it. You have to personally decide what's best for you, and go out there and find the tools, and find what works best for you, but just go get it done.
And I can make us another suggestion here, if you don't mind. In organizing your environment, not only do you have things like that in place, but also dress for the occasion. If your office is all a mess, your environment affects how you think about yourself, what you do. If you're going to get on the phone with a client and you're in your pajamas, and I know sometimes we do that, but if you know you're going to do that, dress up as if you're fixing to be in front of them, and stand up on that phone and you're talking. When you're doing that, your energy level rises, and you sound and you act just as if they're right there. And when you sit down at that same table, if you're dressed up for that, your mind goes, okay, I got business to do, rather than I'm in a relaxed mode. So it makes a big difference. That's a self-talk practice.
A lot of people start off working from home for various reasons. Maybe they lost their job or whatever, and they get in those habits of being what I call a pajama boss. And I'm not going to say I've not never done it, because I still do it now sometimes. But what I have found is, if I get up in the morning just like I have a job to go to, and I set a time that I'm going to be in my office, I'm in my office by 9 o'clock every morning. And then I work here until about 4 o'clock every afternoon. And then I take time off to go take care of, dinner. And then I'm back in the office by 7 o'clock, and I work until about 12. So, I put a lot of time into my business. Whatever the case may be, whatever time you can devote, get up, get dressed. If you're a girl, put your makeup on, get your hair pretty, put on something decent. And you don't have to be dressed like you're going out to, a party, but, be dressed so you feel good, and especially if you're going to be talking to clients, you definitely want to dress for success then, because that shows people that, that you took the time and the energy to make yourself look good to talk to them. Because people know nowadays on the online world, we can work from our PJs if we wanted to. But it's just not a good idea for all the way around. Not a good idea.
Particularly if you've come out of the business world where you're directed by other people that controls your hours, that's what you're used to. And, if you jump out there and you just think you got all the time in the world, and you become your own worst boss.
Exactly.
You can do the worst thing for yourself. You need to have that little control. So.
Yeah, when you're working for yourself, you really do almost have to be the boss that you never wanted to have to work for. The one where you make yourself be on time, you make yourself take short lunches, you make yourself do X, Y, Z. So it's almost like you have to be the boss that you never want to have at work, because you can get too complacent too easy. And let's move on into tip number 3, because this kind of flows into that a little bit. How to avoid negative energy. Like we say, when you're home and you can get complacent, probably the next thing that's going to happen is a little bit of negative energy is going on. You've made some changes in your life. You're doing an online business now. People are starting to find out about what you're doing. They see your social media. Your family starts to find out about it. And boy, oh boy, do people love to tell you their opinions. Don't you think, Baxter? They love to tell you how they don't think you can succeed, and that you're wasting your time, and just so many things that they have no clue about what you're doing. But what you have to do is you have to determine who is affecting you negatively. And you can tell when, say, you're around family and they start talking negatively about what you're doing. And you can kind of tell those feelings start to creep up in you, like you just want to say, those are the people that you need to say this to. I love you. I know you don't understand what I'm doing, or maybe you don't like it for whatever reason, but this is what I want to do. This is my dream, and I need to take care of what I want to do, for myself and my family. And if you don't like it, let's just don't talk about it. Because there's some people in your life you just can't say go away.
Yes.
There are others in your life that you may need to just tell them, look, your negative energy is just driving me down, and I love you, but I just can't hang out with you anymore. You have to determine who those people are and handle each situation as they come along. But you need to just really put it out there to them that, hey, you're being negative. You're trying to smash my dreams, and this is not for me, and I don't want to hear it. You just have to be upfront. You have to find people, ways to talk to people about their negative outlook, because people are just not going to understand the world of online business if they're used to corporate business, or like you say, they're used to running a retail store. Now all of a sudden you're working from home doing XYZ, making money, and they're like, how's this work? She's just wasting her time,
right.
Pipe dream, that kind of thing.
And it depends on the atmosphere that they came from too, because there's an old school that said, you go get your education, find you a good job, retire from that, and you get all this money coming in. Well, that's no longer there. I mean, you might find a few jobs here and there where they're going to take care of you after you retire, but they're not. They're just a athlete. You got to keep your own. You got to get your own retirement and everything. And in regards to what you're talking about, I put two things together here recently, because one guy said this one way and the other gave another suggestion for how to handle those situations. And everybody handles them different, but was it that JT DeBolt said that he don't tell him I can't hang around you no more. He said, I just tell him, look, I just really don't want to be that way. I'm going to go over here. This is what I'm after. And if you'd like to come along, then great. He said, and either they'll do one or two things. They'll either change and follow you, or they'll select to remove themselves from you.
Exactly. But it's what I find a lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time even confronting it. What they do is they take that negative energy in, and they let it affect how they're feeling, and basically they're letting their friends and family talk them out of their dream.
Right.
It's so unfair. Just don't let people talk you out of your dream. You have to, I would say probably one of the best ways to go booyah is when you start making some money online. Hey, that pipe dream that you were talking to me about? Ta-da! That usually wakes them up.
It does, but also that I'm going to use Ray Higgins' line that he used in that. I listened to him the other day, because Ray Higgins is very good at this kind of thing. And so his comment was, he said, whenever you win something, like you just said, you got money or whatever, and you go to that person, that family, that one market that was talking about you, and go, hey, I realize that this is not really something that's for you, but I just wanted this vacation over here. I just got this car. I just made this over here. This guy up here on the stage, he was a teacher, and you're a teacher, right? Do you know any teachers that might want to get involved with this? I know it's not a fit for you, but do you know somebody? And so you're saying, here's what is happening, but this is not for you. So do you know somebody? It's a takeaway. And they either, they either say, well, wait a minute now, hey, I might be interested, and they want to come along, or they either tell you, no, I don't know nobody, and you just go on, so, well, I got to run, I got an appointment,
Yeah,
or whatever,
exactly.
and remove yourself from them, so.
And so, people are going, well, I don't want to lose all my friends and my family. And that's not what we're saying. Your family is always going to be your family, and your friends are always going to be people that you care about. But if you're in a negative environment with that group, then you need to find a new positive environment with positive, supportive friends that understand what you're doing. And that's one reason why, like Baxter and I are in our network marketing group that we're in. It's a marketing education platform, but it's also about the community and the learning and the positive affirmations and people building. Within your company, if you don't have something going on that is helping you to build that positive environment for you to run your business on your own, you have to be on your own to run your business, but you also need that time with people who do what you do, understand what you do, and can say, oh, kudos, you got that done, and they really understand what you achieved. If I went and told somebody that I just came up with this great sales and landing page and it was converting at 75% every time I put it out, no, my friends and family would have no clue what the hell I was talking about, and they'd be like, oh, okay. But one of my marketing friends would be like, how did you do that? So that's the difference in finding those positive environments and groups and organizations that you can be a part of, and why it's so important.
And we push one another. We push one another to do good, regardless of what's there, and that's an important factor as well. So.
Exactly. So now we're going to get into tip number 4, and this is where I would say, if I had to guess, 80% of people that get started, this is where they get stuck. They get stuck in learning mode. They need knowledge. They think they need way more knowledge than they really do need. So they get stuck learning instead of doing. You have to look at your business. Every business is going to be different, but you have to look at your business and determine what is the bare minimum that I need to do to get started. It might just be opening up your social media. I would say every single business needs to be, like on Facebook. You need a Facebook fan page, but you don't need one right now. You can do it off your personal timeline. So that's, having a fan page is not even absolutely necessary until down the road. So you just have to determine what is the bare minimum that you need to know to actually do money-making activities in your business. And then have a level 2. Okay, what's the next thing I need to learn that could bump me up a notch? So always have on the back burner that next thing that could bump you up a notch. Like for me right now, I'm learning about OBS and how to split between Facebook Live, YouTube Live. I'm trying to figure out how to go live on a bunch of all channels. So I'm looking at different applications, different software, costs, things like that. I'm doing my cost analysis and that kind of thing. So even though I've been doing this for a very, very long time, there's always going to be something new that I need to learn that I feel like could take my business to the next level. But is that going to stop me from doing live feeds the way I'm doing them right now? Heck no. I'm going to do this now until I can learn to do better.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to do that. And the one thing that's going to be a constant in every business and everybody's life is change. That's, it's going to be there, and you have to learn how to make change, because I mean, that's why Kodak is not along the way there now. They didn't
Exactly.
change fast enough with for the size that they were. They did not change fast enough to keep up with the platforms that come in. It is, and we're just small people. We're ordinary people, and we're trying to do extraordinary things. And to do that, we have to learn how to get out of that comfort zone and push ourselves and make that change happen a little bit at a time. So, yeah.
Exactly. And like I say, it's all about, focusing on what is actually going to be your money making activities, and realizing that you don't have to know everything right now to actually make money online. Just do the money making activities that your company sets forth, and or maybe your upline will show you exactly what you need to do. If it's just a matter of setting up your Facebook page and talking to people about your product, if you do those two things, you've got leads, you've got people to talk to, and then you're talking about your products and your services so people know what you do. So those two things right there are probably absolutely your first step, and then anything else is look at it as gravy. You don't have to know them, but you're going to know them. You're going to learn them, but it doesn't have to be right now. Take that pressure off yourself. And then do another thing, like we were just talking about Ray Higdon. He talks about invest, learn, teach. As you go along, invest in a course, invest in something that will help you move along in your business, learn it, and then turn around and teach it. That's the best use of your time. You just like when I learned this dual platform broadcasting, I already have 3 friends already on my list that said, as soon as you know what you're doing, I want to know how you did it. So I'll probably end up doing a video and, giving it out, or, maybe we'll do it on the show. Who knows?
Right.
But,
yeah. And another thing, let me put a Dr. Bob Clark line in here on the invest, learn, teach thing. And because he says, oh, that's as good, and you should do that, because that keeps your content, it keeps you growing as well. But he said, don't buy something in the next 30 days. You go, that's just a neat program, and you go and you spend your money on it, and it sits on your shelf for 90 days or a half a year, or next year you go, oh, I'm never buying that. It becomes a shiny object. What happened? So he said, if you are going to buy something, invest in something, make sure you're going to use it within 30 days. If you're not, find something else to invest in.
Well, and
that way it's a part of you.
And we've all been guilty of that, especially when we're first starting out, because we think we need to know all this stuff. Oh, well, let me buy this training course, and then I'll get this, and then I'll know this real quick, and then let me buy this next one. And like you say, the next thing you know, you've got all these courses sitting on your computer in your back office somewhere, and you haven't done anything with them. But
exactly.
One thing that really helped me get away from that and spending too much time on those kind of things is when we got in the company that we're in, and I'm going to tell you guys about it a little bit. We're with Elite Marketing Pro, and for me, what made the difference is, we get a full coaching program. There's somebody out there to kind of move you through the modules of the coaching program itself, which is phenomenal, by the way. And then we have our Daily Dose of Awesome, which is for motivation and training on Mondays through Friday. We have the top leaders in the company come on and actually give this training. It's a short training every time. It was about 30 minutes usually, Baxter.
Well, it depends. It goes 15 to 30. It depends on
Yeah, depending on what the topic is. And a lot of times they have 6- and 7-figure earners come in and actually give a topic that they're training on at the time. And then we have Monday Mojo, where every Monday night for an hour, they have either leaders in the company or 6- and 7-figure earners on as guests. I mean, people like Ray Higdon and Kate Mache have been on our Monday Mojo. And then also we have the large Facebook and Google Plus community, where we have all of the people that are in Elite Marketing Pro coming together to help each other. Like, you know, if I didn't know how to do this, actually, when I first started wanting to do this dual live stream stuff, I went into Google and I said, is anybody doing the dual live stream? And they put me onto a couple of platforms that I could start checking out. So that saved time right there. You know, they said, okay, here's the top 2, go check those out. So that's what I did. And that saves you time, and it gives you a tribe, like you said, a place to be with people to give you encouragement. You know, you talk about your wins, you talk about where you're losing, you know, hey, we're here for you for that too. So we can make sure we get you over those, you know, hurdles. And it's just a great place to grow within that community. And then also we have the weekly Begin to Win, which I'm actually the team leader, and Baxter is one of our top trainers within Begin to Win. And we teach you the system itself, so that way you can move through the system, you can learn the tools, and you know where to go to look for the information that you're needing at the time to build your business. Also, they have a blogging platform, and you can get started blogging without a website. But if you already have your own website, it's a great way to backlink and, you know, build views from your personal site to your EMP blog. And, you know, then just EMP is just a place that it provides all the marketing and advertising type training that you would ever need. So what I have found since I've been in EMP is I don't need to go buy other products or services, because everything I need is within EMP. And we just had a wonderful new training program come out within EMP, which is the Social Media Recruiter. Oh my God, that program is just like phenomenal. So they're always adding new things, and we have the Elite Insider magazine that is back there, and it's training from 6- and 7-figure earners that are within the company on different topics. Let's see, there's been traffic, there's been blogging, Facebook ads. What else am I missing?
YouTube, Google.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all in. I mean, it's all in there. How to build programs. I mean, from building funnels. I mean, it's just everything. And like you're saying, the help that we needed, you know, because, you know, I've been working on a funnel, and to be having this community, my end of the funnel, when I clicked in, it was working good, and I sent it to you, and I said, here, try this out. And it took you to a totally different place. So that's one of the benefits of being in this kind of a group, where you have people who are saying, okay, no, here's the problem, you know, and in the platforms that we use, like this one, was able to show what was wrong or what it's doing, so we can know where to go to fix it. So it is a very, very powerful learning atmosphere, and that's what I want to call that. It is a learning atmosphere, because that's what you're doing. Everything you do is learning and applying, learning and applying, learning and applying. So,
and I think that's the one good thing that I have found within Elite Marketing Pro is that when they teach you something, they encourage you to get out there and put it to use. You know, they don't just say, okay, here's this training, now that's done and over, and then you don't ever hear anything else about it. You know, they keep bringing it back up to you and saying, okay, did you use this? Did you check this out? What did you think of that? And then you're like, oh, well, maybe I didn't see that part. Let me go back and look again. You know, so it encourages you to apply what you've just gotten hold of and what you've just trained on. And then it also helps because it's set up for all levels of marketers, from someone who's absolutely brand stinking new, has no clue what they're doing, up to the advanced marketer that needs to, say, maybe learn more things about trafficking and advertising and Facebook ads and, you know, some of the more technical stuff. But it supports the beginner because, you know, maybe they don't know about Facebook ads and email marketing and that kind of thing. So Elite Marketing Pro is handling that for you. There's just so many things, wonderful things about this company, guys. And I want to invite you guys, there's going to be a link below this video. We want to invite you guys to join the team. You know, there's a link for our free 10-day attraction marketing boot camp. But if you guys are interested and you really want to take your business to the next level, you know, click that link to join the team. It's well worth the money. Well worth the money. I just, it's the best thing I've ever done for my business. I can definitely tell you that. And also tonight, guys, before we go, I want to let you know that Baxter has put a link to a book that he has. It's called Effective Planning and Pursuits Accomplished in 10 Years Worth of Success by Doing It Right for 1 year. So, guys, that book is free for you guys. So make sure you get a hold of that. We definitely want to opt in, and I think it's sent by email, right, Baxter?
Yes, yeah. Whenever you hit the confirm button, you can instantly download at that point right there. It takes you right to the download page, and you pull it up in a PDF, and it's all yours.
Awesome.
And it talks a lot about what we talked about tonight, and a lot about last week, which is smart planning, smart goals, and stuff like that. So it's not a long book, so you don't got to sit down for a year to read it to get something out of it. So
awesome.
It's very effective. Yes.
So, Baxter, I really appreciate you being here tonight and helping me co-host. And I appreciate everybody who has watched the replay. And like I said, excuse my squeaky voice. Hopefully by next Tuesday, this will not be a problem. So, guys, make sure that you come back next week for Breaking Barriers in Business. I want to remind everybody that at 12 o'clock, Chef Katrina and I do a 12 o'clock blogging Breaking Barriers in Business, and we talk about blogging for about 30 minutes, so from 12 to 12:30-ish. Sometimes we go a little bit over because we like to talk. And then every Tuesday night at 7 p.m., Baxter and I will have a new marketing and business building topic for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that way you can get notified. And also, if you want to connect with me at Cash Life Mastery on Facebook, I always post the links to the training here. But if you would like to come on live with us and ask us questions, if you join our leveraged affiliate group, which is free on Facebook, our leveraged affiliate people, they have the option to join us live and ask questions. So that's where the live link goes. So guys, everything, all that information is below this video here on our YouTube channel. All the links, everything you need to know to get up everything. So come on over, subscribe to YouTube, get that information, get hooked up with us, and we will keep you on track this year.
Yes, indeed. And I appreciate you having me on. Very informative stuff that we have, and it reminds me of everything that I need to do as well. So it's
exactly.
After
we get through with the show, then I'm like, oh gosh, you know what? I got to do so.
Yeah, right. It's a self-talk thing for an hour. So
yeah, so positive self-talk. It really does work. All right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your week until we're back on Tuesday. In the meantime, stay connected with us through Cash Life Mastery. And hopefully we'll see you guys in the leveraged affiliate groups, because we're posting in there throughout the week, tips and training and all kinds of stuff. So, and we'd love to have you guys on live and asking live questions. So we hope that we will build this up to where we'll have a pretty good audience each week. So looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care, Baxter. Bye-bye now.
Bye.